After an incredibly long summer, football is back this weekend with the EFL returning. But are Leeds United ready for it and can they push on to promotion? I'm going to try and answer as many of these questions as I can in this video. First up, we've got what Daniel Farke's starting 11 will look like for this season, and it's looking stronger than I expected given the pre-season that we've had and the relative lack of incoming players. In net, you've got Caldalo. I imagine him coming in means that he's likely going to start, whether that means Melia leaves or not, or plays as a second keeper. I don't know, but Darlow coming in implies to me that he probably wants first team football. The back four, I think, also just makes sense. You've got Cody Drameh, who decided to not go to Luton, to not go to Burnley, has stayed at Leeds, and that implies to me he's going to get plenty of minutes this season. Charlie Cresswell has also signed a longer 4-year contract and has the number 5 shirt, which tells me he's going to start at centre-back for most of the season. Liam Cooper, a stalwart in defence, is probably going to be starting still. I know there's some interest from Saudi Arabia, but that doesn't seem to have turned into anything yet. So for now, I'm going to say Liam Cooper starts. I hope he doesn't go to Saudi Arabia. He doesn't seem like he would after what he said, but you never know. At left back, it's a little bit complicated. We've not signed him permanently yet, but I can see Sam Byram being our starting left back this season purely because he's done a lot of it throughout the pre-season. We've not had many people playing at left back. We've had Leo Hjelde there, but he's effectively half a centre back. We've got Junior Firpo, but he's permanently injured. I think Sam Byram makes sense because he knows Farke's system, and he's pretty good. Central midfield is where it gets a little bit interesting, and I've gone for a pair that have no competitive appearances for Leeds United ever. First up, you've got Ethan Ampadu, who was one of the better signings of the window. The best so far, I'd argue, although he's not got that much competition yet. He's very good in central midfield because of what he learned as a central defender. He's learned how to play out under pressure. He's very, very good on the ball. His range of passing was excellent throughout pre-season, and I think he's a massive addition. His position would be a little bit more in question if Tyler Adams was fit, but that's probably more applicable to the other midfielder here. I think he's going to bring a lot to the promotion push. Alongside Ampadu, I've gone with Archie Gray. Now, there's been many times he's almost played for Leeds United, including a couple of years ago when he nearly played against Arsenal at the age of 15. But that's just how much of a talent he is. He looks really assured on the ball, he's got an impeccable first touch, and he always finds his way working out of trouble. I still remember last year, pre-season, there was a friendly against Blackpool where a ball was coming down in front of him, and he just deftly flicked it back over his own head as an assist. And that was absolutely incredible. He's got such good vision. He's got such a good touch. His passing's mental for an under 21, sorry. I can see him starting a hell of a lot this season and developing into a cracking player. The attacking positions could see a hell of a lot of rotation this season, purely down to the numbers that we have there. Now, we've not sold any wingers this season, which means that all of the hoarding that Victor Orta did is still there. I'm starting with Luis Sinisterra on the right wing because he's been really impressive throughout pre-season. His dribbling is immense, and he can float all the way across the line and cause problems. On the opposite wing, weirdly, I didn't think I'd be saying this at the start of pre-season. I think I'm going to say Dan James. Dan James is a player that is almost certainly staying at Leeds United, and he's really proven himself this pre-season, not only with his pace and his running, but he's got a slightly better end product, putting across some fizzing crosses that have caused problems for defences. And in the middle is another player I didn't think I would see much of this season. It's Jan Poveda, because in that match against Nottingham Forest, he sort of proved himself as someone that's able to work in the central spaces without much room and start to cause issues. I think he got an assist and a goal. He looked incredible, and if he can keep that up, I really want him to start against Cardiff. Up front, I think I'd go with Jorginho Rutter if all of the forward options are available. Clearly, Daniel Farke trusts him. He started 3 of the 4 pre-season friendlies. I don't know where Patrick Bamford fits in. I don't know where a potential new striker signing fits in. But Rutter seems to have Daniel Farke's trust, and he works in that role because he's a very creative player. You don't necessarily have to be a pure finisher to work in that system. You can just help those around you. It's also worth asking about the players that aren't in this system right now, and that is both players coming in and players going out. Now, of course, there's ideally a left-back signing on the way that is a dedicated left-back. Sam Byram is a right-back that's been converted, which is, again, not ideal. It's something that we've dealt with year after year after year. There's also a couple of wingers you might have noticed that aren't playing in this system. There's Willie Nonto, there's Jack Harrison, and there's Crescencio Somerville. Those are 3 players that you just cannot be certain of the future of. They might leave, there might be bids coming in for them, there's been rumoured interest throughout the window. They're really high value players, and I don't know if they'll want to play in the Championship very much. There's a similar argument for Tyler Adams, but I feel like Adams might be more likely to stick around, although he does have a release clause, and if Chelsea come sniffing, that could be a problem. Harrison and Adams have the added benefit of not being fit at the moment, so clubs might not be so willing to take a punt on them, but we'll see. It's impossible to tell who will lose before the end of the window. Meslier, Adams, Harrison, Somerville, Nonto are all players I wouldn't be surprised if we end up losing for reasons beyond our control. So, what do I predict for the season? I'm desperately hoping for automatic promotion. I don't want to have to go through the playoffs. That sounds incredibly stressful. I think the one thing that we're missing is a little bit more depth throughout the squad, just because I feel a few injuries could cause major issues in positions like at centre-back. But at the end of the day, I think we're not in a bad spot. We've got to remember we're not playing Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal anymore. We're playing against the likes of Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday. Now, that's not casting aspersions on them or their levels of quality. It's just a statement that, in terms of opposition, it's not going to be as tricky as it's been over the last 3 years. I'm optimistic for promotion. I'd take playoffs. Anything lower than that would be deeply disappointing and a sign that something's gone quite wrong. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe to keep up with all the Leeds United content this season, alongside some stuff from other clubs. Drop a like and comment what you think is going to happen this season. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.